The solution never changes. The solution is always partition, Palestinian state. In that respect, it never changes.
So maybe the process.
Yeah, the process. So certainly a lot of people feel that the rise of Iran has created a unique opportunity for an alliance between Israel and Arab states that are Sunni. I'm sure you know a little bit about the Sunni-Shiite division in the Muslim world, that the rise of Iran as a Shiite clerical country, maybe with nuclear weapons, is a threat to the main secular Arab Sunni countries, such as Egypt, Jordan, Saudi Arabia. So there is a view, and this has certainly been the foreign policy view in the last few years, that the rise of Iran creates an opportunity for alliance between these forces. And as a result, maybe create an opening for the solution that everyone knows is the solution. So that's one side that maybe helps the possibility of a solution. On the other side, one should remember that Iran is a major meddler in this conflict. And I think it's always interesting to realize that this conflict is actually a tiny, tiny conflict by any measure, any objective measure. It's a conflict that gets a tremendous amount of attention, but it's entirely disproportional, even if you were just to do, again, not to be crude, to do body count. If you were to look at how many people died in the 120 years of this conflict, Arabs, Jews, all of them, the numbers are lower than 100,000. And that's for a 120-year conflict that gets the attention of leaders and populations around the world. At any given moment today, you have problems, sufferings that are much greater, that do not get 1% of the attention that this conflict gets. Now, because this is such a small conflict, it's a very convenient conflict to meddle in. It's why it was a great proxy conflict during the Cold War. And it's why a lot of the elements of the last decade of the rising religious, existential, civilizational conflict have also been played out here. It's not just an ideological element. It's that Iran actively meddles, influences, sends weapons, training. This is why this conflict has become more religious. You have groups, Palestinian groups, that are supported by Iran that have elevated this conflict into a more religious sphere. So at the same time that the rise of Iran is creating more allies that may make solving the conflict possible, it's meddling, the Iranian meddling, because it is a rising power, are also making it less possible to resolve it. And the question, of course, if Iran were to decline tomorrow and no longer meddle, would it create a greater opening or would it loosen the alliance? It's tough to say which of the forces would be stronger, but certainly it's been a force. Iran itself, the threat of Iran has been a force for an alliance, but Iran itself has been a force against resolution of the conflict.